now I'm Captain Save-A-Hole. So the whole time it's going on, I'm trying to mac to this girl, and I'm like, like, when you get off, and she's like, I get off, the show stops, close at 4, and this and that, and it's like, all right. So I made a plan to actually kidnap these girls, out of this place, right? So I get these guys with a car to come, and outside the building, they rope down the building, man, rappel down.
Like rope?
Rope, roll down the building. Well, they tie like a bunch of sheets together, and they roll down. It's like a third balcony of a building, roll down, yeah. And they go into our car.
You are Captain Save-A-Hole.
Yeah, no.
You're roping down a building, bro.
Yeah, man. So we bring all these.
I ain't doing that. I don't care who she is.
Well,
maybe I would.
If
I drink enough.
Man, I felt like, man, this is what I needed to do, man. I felt like these girls were being trapped.
You felt like you needed to do the right thing.
The right thing, man. And so we get these girls in the car, man, and we bring it back to the barracks. And the barracks, so anyways, the barracks find out, like, we got these girls. And like, come on, we got a whole battalion of dudes in the bag. They know the girls are in. There's girls in the room. So we are trying to figure out how we're going to get to the gunny and first sergeant. Tell them that we got these 3 Latina girls in the room, and we have to save them because they were kidnapped by the Jacusimov, and they took the passport. But all night, we're fucking the shit out of them, man.
This is a whole strategy.
All that, yeah. And then, man, the morning comes, man, and the gunny knock on the door. He's like, what's going on? I open the door, and it's like, gunny. And then it's like, shut up. You got to take the girls back now. we're like, but Gunny's like, no, shut the fuck up. He's like, get the girls to get out. So we're trying to tell the girls to tell them, like, hey, you got to tell them that we are here to save you, and so you can stay here in the base. And the girl's like, no, you got to take us back. It's like, we got to collect. We only got 1 month left, and we're going to get paid so we can get our passport, go back and take care of money. And we're like, you fucking hoe.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were all in it for the money, bro. You know what I'm saying? 100% for the money. In Florida, the big hurricane that happened in Texas. And also we had another hurricane in Florida. Trump, as you remember, came down to Florida, to Naples, and that's where he stopped by at this mobile park. And at the time, I was delivering relief to the mobile parks at different locations, water, food, etc., through Uncle Sammy's Got It Children. And the Secret Service was shorthanded because Trump, being Trump, and Trump, right? When Trump says, hey, I want to stop out here, and the Secret Service is like, well, we have no protection. We're not ready for this. They actually, it was last minute. I was there, and a few of my guys were there. He says, hey, we're going to need your help to protect the president. So that was the only period I actually met the president. I met the first lady, the president, Mike Pence, Rubio as well, and Scott as well, Rick Scott as well. And we had a time with him and protect the president, through the time that he was at this location.
Cuba.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. I was born in Cuba.
Born in Cuba.
Yep.
And then you came over at 14?
Yeah, 13 years old. 1988. With my family. We came here illegally. We went through, years of communism. We would have gotten there early, but when my little sister was born, 13 years old, came from Cuba. One of the things that happened when we were coming, it's funny because we had to go through the proper channels of coming to America. There's a lot of stereotypical thought that Cubans only come in rafts and banana boats, and actually there's a legal way to process it. Actually, Cubans can come, but you need to have family members here in America from your initial family who are citizens, and they can apply for a visa for you, and then you will have to go through the proper channel.
To you, what is communism?
Communism is oppression.
You lived through it.
Yeah, communism is oppression, man, tyranny, and we're seeing that a lot today in a lot of the control that the government is putting in place on our people, and not just here, all over the world. When it comes to oppression and mass mandates and control of your business, being on lockdowns. All these things are all part of a system that is very, very peculiar to the communist idea. Socialist and communist idea. When you're talking about a stimulus check, here's his stimulus check. Here's $1,200, right? We're gonna give you after 6-7 months. You lost your business and lost your home, and you're about to get your vehicle repossessed or whatever. Here's a little $1,200, but we're gonna take $12,000 off of you, right, to pay for that $1,200. We're just some good people, right? That's socialism.
Now, when you say we're going to take 12,000 off of you to give you that 1,200, what do you mean?
We're talking about taxpayers, people that actually put into the system, and they're actually taking them. We are all going to pay. Even our children are going to pay the $12,000 of that $1 trillion, that they put into the system.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So, like, I'm working, you're working, we're all working.
Right.
We're paying taxes, and then that's going to someone who may actually need it, but then it's also going to people who are just sitting on the couch.
Right.
And now they're getting that check. Why the hell go back to work?
Exactly. Right? Exactly.
And that's what communism is, kind of?
Man,
or a part of it,
That's pretty much. Take from the working class and give it to those, that, actually not put it into the class at all, and make the sort of idea that we're doing you a favor, that we're taking care of you. It's we the government, we're doing this thing for you. In the end, that is communism. America has turned to very much a lot of places. I'm not talking about all America. Some places. We live in Florida. We got a great governor, DeSantis. Thank God. But there's a lot of places in America, man. We're talking about California or New York and New Jersey, as you know. I mean, it's crazy. They're talking about passport. Vaccinate passport. You got to show that you've been vaccinated.
Yeah.
Things like that are very close to communist idea. My dad was actually a doctor, and my mom was an accountant. But before my father was able to finish medical school, he wrote a letter to his sister in New York and told her that how things were in Cuba. At that time, he didn't think about escaping communism, escaping Cuba. He was just saying, look, this is how things are bad here. And that letter went to the principal, and that letter got out to a sort of kind of group, kind of like Antifa, kind of like BLM. Yeah. So those things that you see here in our society right now happening with groups like BLM and Antifa, those actually, we have similar groups in Cuba and Venezuela and different places like that. So they got a hold of him, DOS him, kind of like what they do here, they DOS him. Well, they did the same thing to my father, they did DOS him. And they took him out, they got him naked, and they put him in the behind of the truck, and they rode him around the city with a sign saying that he was a traitor. Jeez. They beat him to a pulp. They left him in front of a bus station, almost dead. And then my grandma found him, naked in front of, with newspapers. That's when my father decided, this is not going to be the place for me.
Sorry to hear about
that. You can either pray to Castro or you can either pray to God. You can't choose. You can't have that choice in communism. One of the things that they did to me as a kid, my first day in class, I'm going to tell you, right? So first day in class, first grade, and still remember to this day because they did the same thing to my little sister. They have us all sitting down at the table, and they go around and they say, okay, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to pray to God for something, right? So all the kids pray to God. Most of the kids are Catholics, so we all close our eyes and we pray to God for something. A bike, innocence, man. Bike, baseball, bat, whatever. And then the teacher goes around and says, open your eyes. Do you see anything that you pray? Is there for you? Do you have anything that you see? And we're like, no, we don't see anything. It's okay. So, all right, close your eyes, and I want you to.
I know where this is headed. Castro.
Yeah, I want you to pray to Castro.
I know it.
Fidel Castro. I want you to pray to that man right there in that picture, and I want you to pray for him for a piece of candy. And then, all the kids close their eyes, and they put a candy on all of us in front of them. You could feel the teacher coming to your table. It is fucked up. And then they put the candy in front of us, and they say, okay, open your eyes. That's the first introduction of brainwashing to communism. To me, so if you cannot speak your mind, if you cannot express yourself freely, then you're not a man. You're a slave. You could be the richest or the poorest. It doesn't matter. If you cannot speak yourself, you give your opinion out, and you're going to be intimidated, beaten, or whatever, worse, for speaking your mind, then you're not a man. You're a slave. What is the purpose of living in this world as a man if you can't speak your mind? No different what's happening today with social media and the technology that we use is that we have these agencies that are being turned against a certain group of people because of the belief system that we have, conservative belief system, and they're hunting us down like dogs, right? So, it's not a fair justice system. That's communism, that is good. So it's protecting a group of people and their views, but not the other. Is that a free country to you? Is that America to you? Speaking against the government in any way, shape, or form, against Castro in any way, shape, or you get blacklisted, cancel. Yeah. Cancel. The whole idea of cancel what's happening to America today. We never thought in a million years, man, I would be sitting here talking to you about how America has gone into this path of communism, because all this is flashback to me. This is all brings me back to my childhood.
It's like deja vu.
Deja vu all over again growing up. And I've been talking about this since the creation of Uncle Sam Mscs. Since 2009, I've been telling people this is coming. This is what's happening every single day.
Yeah.
You know, and there's so many, you know, places which just mirrored what I went as I joined the Marine Corps. As when I was leaving Cuba, you know, I was like right in front of the embassy where every embassy in America, every American embassy is protected by United States Marines. So right in front of the door of the embassy, there's a United States Marine dressed in Marine Corps blues, looking sharp with an M16. I mean, this thing is for a child. This thing is very impressive. You know, for a kid is, you know, looking up to America and looking up to the cowboys and you know, the things that make America great. You're going to this place that's supposed to be American nation, American ground, and you're looking at this Marine in United States Marine Corps blue. So I look at him and I look at my father and I said, can I be him when I go to America? And he said, you can be anything you want. When you go to America, you can be anything you want, you know? Yeah. So that was like my dream, you know, to come to America and become a United States Marine.
Your dream.
Yep.
How fun was that boot camp?
Man, that was super fun. This super fun because, you know, you got a kid who...
Marine boot camp is super fun?
It was for me. It was for me. I'm gonna tell you what.
That's the first time I heard that
brother, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why, man. For me... I got 3 meals a day, brother. You know, I'm like, I come from Cuba. I come from a third world country, man. Yeah. You know, like, to me, you got food? You know what I'm saying? You give me 3 meals a day. All I'm going to do is get yelled at. Like, you know, you come from an Italian family. You got your mom yelling at you. You know, they're like yelling at you, right? So, like, I got a DI yelling at me. So I grew up with a Cuban mom, bro. She yelled at me all the time. You know, she beat me up with a damn broom all the time. And, like, you know, I'm not, you know, this is not about cake. But my concern was passing inspections because I couldn't speak very good English at the time. So my English was very like Tony Montana, you know, saying to my little friend type you know, going to one of these clubs. Like the first week I was there, I go to one of these like clubs where they got the females.
In Japan?
Yeah, in Okinawa, Japan. And I mean, Mama-san, you know, so it's like Mama-san closes the club starts closing the club early, you know, and the Japanese are fun. They're funny. If you got like dark hair or whatever, they kind of like you more. I don't know why. You know, if you're Italian, if you're Cuban, Puerto Rican, black, whatever, they just like they sewn to you more. Okay, you know, and so I made a really good relationship with Mama-san, and you know, like. One of these nights, it was like midnight. So Mama's like, we out to drink. We out to drink. You gotta leave. So we are like, okay, you know, it's like, so I go to Mama's like, what's going on, Mama's? She's like, no more beer, no more alcohol. You know, it's like, okay, like, well, we can go get more beer. So in the military base, at the military base at the FedEx, at the time I could buy a 24-pack of Budweiser for $7.
Wow, you ain't getting that now.
So at the beer, each beer, Mama-san was selling it for like $5 a pop.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you know me, man.
Ding, ding.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, Mama-san, this is what I'm going to do. So I took my first paycheck, man. I went to the PA. I loaded up, man. You know, booze, buy all the different beers, man, alcohol, whatever. Loaded up. I got a guy that was stationed there. Actually had a vehicle, put it in the back of the vehicle and started driving. Man, I started making like $5,000 a week, man. I was making so much money.
Yeah, because they close at 12, right?
Yeah. So I didn't know what to do with it. And then some of the other shops, you know, Papa-san, Mama-san shops, they started getting mad because she was selling the liquor and the beer cheaper and keeping the club open longer because she had more beer, more alcohol.
Because of you.
Yeah, because of me. So they finally figured it out, man. And then the base got a word of it. So I started figuring it, you know, I was like, oh, you know, I started realizing what was going on. So I had connection with MP. And I was taking care of the MP, and the MP will let me go through the gate, and he would tell me what time to go through the gate. So I was taking care of everybody, making sure everybody got money, you know. And
that's the shit.
You know.
I love that shit. You know, just take the fucking money and look the other way. You're not doing anything that bad.
Exactly. So anyways, you know, I knew at some point in time, and like somebody was telling me there were too many people. There was too many people talking about it at the base.
Yeah.
And Mama-san told me, watch out, there's the other guys. Yep. So the Papa-san and the other shops decided to get in the competition, and they got a bunch of idiots to do the same thing I was doing, but they didn't know the game. So I just stood quiet for a while. I stood kind of underground for a while. As a matter of fact, I ended up going to one of the training exercises for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and then take the hit.
Yeah, and when I came back, that's what happened, man. A couple of idiots got a hit, man.
Nice
move. They got caught, So
be smooth.
Yeah, so
let them get hit.
Exactly. So everybody thought like, oh, we got the guy, but they changed the rules. So now you couldn't go to the FedEx alcohol, the alcohol store and buy so much liquor, unless it was your birthday. So I would go around the barracks,
I see whose birthday it was.
Yeah, birthday. Like, yeah, who's your birthday, man? Your birthday? Like, bro, $20. Let's go. I'll get you whatever you want, bro. Whatever you want. Whatever. We'll celebrate your birthday today. We'll get you whatever you want. So I give him whatever he wants. Give him $20. Pack my freaking car and then go head out. Funny story I got to tell you. So when I was in the boot camp, I qualified the highest level of expert shooter. I'm here at 17 years old, never shot a rifle in my life, but I really took that seriously. So, when it came to a rifle qual, I was one of the highest rifle expert shooters in the whole battalion, so that gave me a boost up, and then the other thing was when it came to inspections, I told myself, I said, I'm not going to remember all this history because they teach you a lot of history and a lot of knowledge. And I was like, my English is really messed up. I'm not going to remember all these things, but I am going to focus on my uniform. I'm going to focus on my boots. I'm going to focus on my sharpness, make sure everything is sharp. I'm going to make sure my physical, make sure I do really well on the physical. So when it came to inspection, it was funny. And I remember this, you have to yell really loud. So no matter what they tell you, you say, yes, sir, or no, sir, really, really loud. So to this day, I find guys that went through that in my unit and will remember me and say, dude, I used to hear you like 4 companies down, bro. Like we used to hear you say, Ferran, really loud.
Yeah.
So the DI will get in front of me and, look down with the cover and look down. And my rifle is inspections, and go, what's your name, recruit? Like that, and I say, sir, this recruit's name is Recruit Ferran, sir. Like loud, bro, loud. And then he was like, and then you could tell that my accent, right? So the DI's like, where you from, recruit? Like that, with the cover down. And I said, sir, this recruit's from Cuba, sir. Like loud, man. And he's like, what the hell you doing in my corps, recruit?
Yeah.
And I said, sir, this recruit came to kill Fidel Castro, sir. Like loud as hell. Yeah. And they're like, right. And they just leave me alone, man. And it happened every time, bro. So when it was time for my graduation, I actually got meritoriously awarded. So I got promoted in Marine Corps boot camp. And so at 17 years old, I'm now a private first class. My parents were working 2 jobs. It's 1988, 1993. Look, I came in 1988, 1993. I'm a United States Marine at the age of 17. Sewn in onto followers as much as get sewn into your message and what you're all about, because that is what keeps it real. And people want real these days. They're hungry for it. So, I realized by going to these gun shows, grassroots movement, is that my tribe is not on social media. My tribe is here. My tribe is in the streets. My tribe is blue collar, white collar. They're everywhere. They're all over America. If I created 2.5 million on Facebook and 1 million on Instagram, they can't take that away from me, man. They're all over the place. They know who I am. Right. So when I go someplace, people recognize me. They say, hey, Tank, are you the guy Tank? Or you Uncle Sammy's guy? You guys that run the Instagram account? They know who I am. It's something that I realized through this period of challenges through censorship. But I've been telling people this was coming.